Howdy, I made it to Witherville, Virginia. At least that's how I pronounce it. Took a nice picture today as I was leaving the truck stop, that Go-Mart in Beckley. There was the fog and the sunrise. It's on my Instagram. It was beautiful. It was like 7 o'clock and the sun rose at 7:15. And what I wanted to mention is that, you know, falling asleep, I was thinking about this performance issues with the truck. And I read with gratitude the tips from many truckers, because, you know, the engine is the modern engine is a complicated piece of machinery, and you cannot know everything. And I remember on my international truck I had this, I think I mentioned this, but not when it was new, maybe when it was like 4 or 5 years old, I started having these periods of low and high power. You know, one day it would drive like crazy, because that truck had it was, you know, tuned to have over 2,000 pounds of torque, and it was a Cat 550, and the tanks were round, and they were 150 gallons each. Now this one started doing this. First of all, it was sluggish ever since I got it. Then it improved when it broke in after about 45,000 miles, 75,000 kilometers. And then I said, I think year 2 it started pulling really well. But then it would go back to this low power. And so I was, yeah, and my tanks are, so the engine of course is smaller, but they say it's 1860 torque, right? Just 13-liter engine. But the tanks are square, and they're smaller than my international. They're only 125 gallons each, or usable is 115. But I could never put so much fuel in there. There's always something in the bottom, you know. Like, I think maximum I ever put in was, I don't know, 80 gallons in each tank. Like, honestly, even if I'm really empty, I don't know how they measure these things. I had the same problem on the international. Like, the stamped capacity never matches, nowhere close to what you can put in, you know. I understand usable versus total, but still, usable should be close to what you put in. But it's always wrong, you know. They always overestimate how much usable you have in there. But anyway, and so this one has a smaller tanks, and because I'm in Canada, right, and the fuel there is very pricey, I was always running the engine very low on fuel before filling up, because I would get to US, you know, to grab some cheap fuel in here. And because the tanks are so small, right? So on international, I remember I would fuel when the gauge showed between 50 and 25%. On the Mac, usually I do it when it hits 25, or even goes less than 25, less than a quarter. And this time, when I filled up 2 days ago in Fort Erie, Ontario, Canada, as I was pulling into this truck stop, the gauge was already like the needle was touching the red zone there. Like, there was no light yet, but it was really low on fuel. And so I read all these comments in here, and some people just wrote basically like a 5-page essay what can go wrong, like, you know, oxygen sensor and this and that, and, you know, you can spend a whole bunch of money finding the solution actually. And I did go to Mac before complaining about this low power, because it happened before, and they did this with a computer. The guy, I was driving around, and the guy had his computer hooked up to the ECM, and he was doing tests as I was driving, and they couldn't find anything, you know. And so I'm reading all these comments, and I'm thinking, oh boy, what am I gonna do, you know, since the truck is not selling, so I might end up using it. And so all types of comments, all possible reasons for low performance, you know, bad fuel, da-da-da. And then one guy says this: you may have air in the system if you run too low. You know, just like one short sentence, no punctuation marks, of course. Everything is low key, you know. I write like that often, but punctuation helps, guys. Come on, use punctuation. But this was easy, like this was an easy sentence actually, no need for that. But so A in the system, and I left him a response saying that if there was A in the system, how come the truck pulled okay on the same day when I filled up, right? If that's when I got the air. And then again, you know, falling asleep, I was thinking about this, and I remembered, wait a second. On that day, I drove on a relatively flat terrain, you know, like I-90 near Lake Erie in Pennsylvania. And then how far did I go? Yeah, basically the hills were there, but they were not big, you know. But yesterday, when I was complaining about this poor performance, I hit West Virginia, and the hills became much smaller. So there is a chance that this low performance issue already existed right after I filled up, you know. And so I decided to follow up on this, and I opened my Mac Bible, the operator's handbook, and there's a section here about fuel filters in your fuel system. And basically that's what my fuel filters look like. One is a fuel filter water separator, and another one has a little prime, like this one has a little priming pump on the top, and I never used it. It was still covered in paint. I don't think these guys that do oil service, or you know, they ever used it, because it looked pristine. I had to peel off the paint from the factory, you know, like honestly it was like everything was covered in, even the thread, it was covered in paint. So and that's what probably the problem is, you know. They give some rookies my truck to do the oil change. They never prime the system. Oh, look at this. Oh, we have here Freightliner, Columbia, XL 35-ton mechanical pulling Cat 966H wheel loader. A weird location for the bucket. No, I would put it on the top. Huh. Well, if it works for him. So 2 axle trailer. So yeah, 35-ton. And look at this cloud. Today is a good day for photography. Clouds, you know, hills, except we still don't have leaves on trees. And next to me is a Volvo. Over here we have a Pete with a flatbed. And then we have a Kenworth. Yeah, the truck still is empty. So anyway, so nobody uses these priming pumps, and I think that's the problem, is, you know. And I never used them myself. Actually, my International, I did not have it. I tried to do it many times, and I'm like, there's no pump, you know. Maybe I just did not know how to use it, because over here I read this, and it says, like, there's a picture, like, you know, for real idiots like me, and it says, like, when I opened the hood, you know, I didn't see any pumps. Like normally you would expect to see like a handle, right? There's nothing there. And then I look at the picture, it says unlock the primer pump handle by pushing the handle downward and then turning it counterclockwise. And there's no handle in there, it's just like a button, a regular button. And I did this, and it unlocks, and then it goes up, and it becomes like a valve like this big, with like 3-4 inches. And then that's your pump, you know. This is the first time, so I decided to follow up, give it a try to this guy's tip, because that seemed like the simplest way. Because, you know, they always say check for the simplest solution. And it says operate the pump handle until pumping effort increases. And there's a picture here, shows you how you put your palm on top and you just push down, and then it goes up automatically. And it says here, note, with a fuel system that is completely empty, 200 or more strokes of the pump may be necessary to properly prime the system. But it, you know, with me it was not the case, because the fuel system had fuel in it. When the fuel system is primed, lock the primer pump handle by pushing it fully into the housing and turning it clockwise. And then step 2, start the engine and run it at 1000 RPM for approximately 5 minutes to purge any remaining air from the system. And I'm reading all this, okay, and so I did that. I primed, and it only took me, I don't know, maybe like 10 pushes, and then it became really hard. Okay, I locked it, closed the hood, get inside, started the engine, and then right under that step where it says 1000 RPM, there's another note, and it says note, and I'm reading this right before I turn the key. It says, note, if the engine does not start after performing the above priming procedure, contact your local Mac dealer for assistance. I'm like, thank you. What if it doesn't start now? Like it was Saturday, no Mac dealers within like 200 miles of my location. I turn the key, brum, it starts, you know, and I run it for 5 minutes at 1000 RPM. And this was around I don't know, 4 or 5 o'clock yesterday. And today I started the engine at 7 o'clock in the morning, 15 minutes before sunrise, and it was very warm, so the coolant was warm, so it didn't take long, but right away I could feel the difference. Even when idling, I could feel like the sound is different. You know, like we truckers, because we spend so much time with the engine running, you can hear the finest differences in the engine, you know, how the engine sounds. And right away I could feel that something changed. It sounded like better, you know, cleaner, stronger, even when it was cold. And I thought, no, that cannot be possible because it's still cold. Like, and then I started driving through West Virginia, went through these tunnels, you know, big hills. Geez, the truck pulls like X15 Cummins, 605 horsepower. I'm so happy, you know. So I want to say thank you to this guy. What's his name? Sam, right? The guy who gave the shortest possible reason, whereas other guys wrote like essays. Like there was a bunch of guys, right? Like, oh, poor fuel, oh, sensors, oh, this and this. So the simplest reason, air in the system. So basically, starting now, Captain Sergei is going to change the fueling procedure. I'm going to fill up when the needle goes into the area between 1/4 and 1/2. I'm not going to let it run less than 1/4. And secondly, quite often, because of expensive fuel in Canada, I only use 1 tank. And again, that can create problems because there's vacuum in there, right, when the system tries to equalize the levels in both tanks. And that's another possible reason why I have these performance losses, you know. So no more fueling when the level is less than 1/4, and no more fueling into 1 tank only. So thanks to this guy for a good tip that really worked. The simplest thing: air in your fuel system. Saw these guys, my truck is over there, and I saw these guys over here doing something, some really cool work. I never saw these in action. Wow, look at, see what he does? It's a scraper, right? So imagine the power this thing has to have to do the move the dirt like that. See, in the back it has a piece of metal where this guy can push it. Wow, that's really cool. That's how they do it. So this one is D8. Those are D8. This is D9. These are huge. Like, I mean, in terms of weight, you'd need like 8 axles for sure. Look at this baby. D9R. Don't hit the fence. Oh, this guy's good. Ah, he's waiting for the second guy. Okay, so that's all they do, you see? That guy cannot do it by himself. This guy has to push him. feel like a spy in here, but I'm not doing anything illegal, right? I'm just watching the guys work. See, that one got stuck. So now this guy comes to the rescue, pushes him. Wow. And that's the smaller cat. But this is really interesting. So they all run in a circle. You see, they grab this dirt in here, right? The guy pushes him. The guy pushes him, and then they go around. And they empty the dirt somewhere there, and then they come back. And that's a rarely seen footage, boys and girls. That's what construction guys have to do in order to prepare the area for building, right? So you see over here, it's already level, more or less. So probably was all trees and all like over there. So now it's all gonna be flat, and they can build something, you know. So we did good today. We caught some cool footage. Okay, I was waiting for my permit for North Carolina. Just got it, so I can leave Witherville, Virginia. And because I'm oversized, the rules in Virginia are rooftop lights on, the flashing one, all the lights on the vehicle must be on, and I have my lights in the bumper on. So the next stop is 100 miles away. The brakes are working, that's always good. 100 miles away, 162 kilometers. Wilco Hess truck stop in Troutman, North Carolina. Bye bye big machines. I love watching that stuff. And there's two Flying J's in here, right? One is exit 77, this one, and then there's one, I think 81 or 82, right before you turn on 77. And I like that one better, but I always confuse them. Which one has this bad exit? And today I wanted to go to that one, Fort Cheesewell, the next Flying J, and I thought, no, that one has the bad exit I don't like. I'd rather go here. And then I came in here, Witherville, and it's the same. That's what I don't like. See, you have to see this road over here, and you have to exit over here with a stop sign, and it's like a hill like this, which is never good for my trailer, you know. And it's a totally blind spot on your right. Thanks goodness for my mirror, but it's so tiny, you know, it's hard to see anything in there. Real scary intersection, you know. Okay, so now I have to remember Fort Cheesewell, exit 77. No, no, no. Never go in here. Look at this. Like, it's very difficult to get out from the truck stop.
In 200 meters, merge onto I-76.
See? The truck pulls like crazy now. It's a race car. I love my Mac today. And the cruising will commence at 95 kilometers an hour or 59 miles per hour. Don't want to go faster than that because that's 14, should be 1450 RPM, but now I'm going downhill. But 59, I do 1450 RPM, which is within the recommended range for the engine. They say 1350 to 1450, but it's more like 14 to 1450. Alright, what do we have here? Plus 17 Celsius, I'm guessing about 60 F. So 32 is 0, plus 10 is 50. And yeah, somewhere there. Just over 60 probably. Alright, so now we're just going on this. Yeah, I see Fort Cheeseville. I think that's where this next one is. I'll just show you guys this little stretch in here. Exit 80. Okay. Yeah, this is where 81 and 77 run together. And you see it goes east. Yeah, exit 80, Denny's. Okay. But it's all very hilly in here, right? So all truck stops are, you know, the entrance, either the entrance or the exit can be difficult for a low clearance trailer like mine. I talked to, yeah, that's the one. You see over here it's easier. Okay, the entrance is this way. What about the exit? I don't see. Probably even worse. I talked to my local Fontaine dealer, the guy who got me the Fontaine trailer. Ask him if he can buy a Kaufman on my behalf. He says, Kaufman? No, you don't want a Kaufman. I said, I cannot afford a second Fontaine. He says, I can get you a Pitts. P-I-T-T-S, Pitts. And I looked at those before I discovered Kaufman. And I said, Pitts, it's the same stuff as Kaufman, only it's like more money, right? And he said, well, Pitts is better than Kaufman. And I was thinking about this. And because today, as I was leaving, do you hear the engine? I'll let you guys enjoy that sound. That's how it should sound. And look, I'm going up. Okay, it's light load, but 85% load, not 100 like the day before. Look at this. I'm in cruise control, no shifting, speed holds, okay, falling, 94k an hour, 93, but Jesus. So problem solved. So I fueled the truck wrong for 2 years. Unbelievable. And so yeah, as I was leaving the truck stop in Beckley, West Virginia, I saw there was a guy pulling in, and he had like one of those hitch trailers, kind of like a step deck, but it was not a fifth wheel trailer. It was you know, just connected at the frame, right? But a big, like a 10-ton truck. And on top of that trailer was a 2-axle, like big wheels. Well, not 255, just a bit smaller. But it had folding ramps in the back, like what you typically see construction guys pull. They don't, you know, because this is much shorter, it's better for them in tight spots. But why I paid attention, because it had my favorite construction machinery on it. You know, I always look at these things. It had a bobcat, like a small bobcat, and it had a backhoe. No, I know backhoe is about 17,000 pounds and bobcat is about 8. So it's 25,000 pounds, you know, but for that truck it was, you know, a good load. And I look at the trailer, and that trailer looked like solidly built, and on the side it said Pitts, you know. And I remember, wait a second, that's what this guy said. He said this trailer is better. And to be fair, the same types of trailers, like Kaufman also makes these you know, car hauling trailers. I saw a couple of them, like pickup trucks hauling cars using Kaufman trailers, and they, I'll be honest, they didn't look very, you know, strong. I don't know. This Pitts over here, of course it's not a car hauling trailer, but still it's a 2-axle construction trailer. It looked really good, so I don't know. But pricing is higher, and also Kaufman, I have you know, they know me because I bought, what, like 3 trailers from them, right? Well, technically 2, but then 1 was replaced, so I know they're very honest. You know, you get all the warranty repairs, and the best part is they can customize the trailer for me. I talked to the engineer and he said, yeah, we can make it lower, and I said I need at least I need 20 inches off the ground with a 6-inch clearance, and they said, yeah, we can do that. We can use lower beams on the main deck. You know, like, this is important. Okay, maybe the quality is better with Pitts, but over here, you know, you can customize it, you know, to better suit your needs. And I can probably get a discount out of them, because this trailer will get lots of publicity on my channel. But still, I'm not saying that I'm positive I'm gonna do that, because even a Kaufman for me now, I'm spending too much money on this truck and trailer. See how the truck pulls? Beautiful. Love it. I love the Mac today. Good job. Good truck. Good truck. Alright, we're probably gonna stop over here so you see the scenery is almost, I could have said, breathtaking, but no leaves. I cannot say awesome or breathtaking, but it's gonna look so great in a couple of weeks, and I'm waiting for that. I have my Nikon with me, D750. I got my Sigma 24-105 f4. Love that lens. Beautiful pictures. That's the one I used for the auto show in Toronto. If you look back a couple of months, even in deep, dim lighting, it did really well. So anyway, thanks for watching. This is I-77 cruising down south, and the weather looks very promising. Thanks for watching. Be cool. Actually, one last thing I decided to show you guys is this beautiful lake just north of Charlotte, North Carolina. But it's still kind of cold, right? Usually you see lots of boats in here, people in bikinis, but not today. Oh yeah, and they have beautiful boats in there, huge. That, imagine, there's a condos, right? Townhouses. So some lucky bastards just live next to the water and they keep their boat in here. The life of the rich and famous. Gonna go in the middle here, too narrow. Sorry guys. It's okay, I'm oversized. And we're still not done. Yeah, I'm sorry, I thought we were finished. But I'm sitting at the plant, unloading, and I'm looking at my tires. And before this trip, I went to the Cal's Tire in Cambridge, Ontario, K-A-L, like my favorite guys. And I told them to check. Hold on, sorry. Get ready for the noise. Ready? Okay. Sorry about that. Where's the noise? Oh, here we go. I thought my truck broke down. Anyway, so I look at tires, and one tire in particular is kind of like black, you know, like it looks fine. I don't see any damage on it, but like it's black, bright black, you know, not dusty. And I touch it like with my fist, and it's empty, you know. I look at the rim, and it just moves between the tire moves away from the rim if you move it. And then I look around, and in the position I was sitting, I could see there was a small nail, but it didn't. So it's probably I probably just got it because there was a construction zone just before. That's where you usually catch these nails, you know, just before. No, that's water. Just before the exit over here, because the tire looks like, you know, no damage. Like otherwise, if I was driving, I don't know, for half an hour, it would catch fire. You know, that's the problem with these tires. And this is a typical situation. So what do you do in a situation like this? You're far away from your home area. And I remember there's a nice website called Truck Breakdown. So for you guys and gals who are truckers, truckbreakdown.com. You go there and you can select the kind of services you need. You know, replace the engine, you know, replace the muffler, change tires, like the regular stuff that happens every day. And you choose your location, and then they'll show you all these, I guess, subscribers, people that pay them. It's like a directory of contractors. I used it a couple of times before, but now I do everything on my phone. And somehow I was not sure, like now I remember the address of this website, but I kind of panicked, and so I started looking on Google Maps. Like I activated my location on Google Maps, and then I just typed tire repair, search. And it started searching, and a bunch of results show up. And I love Google, you know, not only it shows the name. Now it's too hot, sorry. Gotta start the engine again. You see there's this Mac, beautiful truck, but in order to operate the windows, you have to turn the key. And once you turn the key, there's no escaping this beautiful disco music without any rhythm. Well, actually there is a rhythm, right? So anyway, and I started calling I called 2-3 numbers, and my first question, of course, is do you work with semis? Do you work with semis, trucks and trailers, you know, like big trucks? And all 3 people said no. And then one guy says, yeah, call this company. And I look on the Google Maps, it says closed at 6. I call the number, it says for emergency repair, press 1. I press 1. They put me on hold for like half an hour. I gave up, started looking, you know, down the list. And what's nice is that on Google Maps, they show you these shops closer to you first, you know. It's like very nice. And I look at the distance. Mine is in kilometers because everything is in metric on my phone. It says 2 kilometers, 3, 4, 5, and I find one place. It says 5 kilometers, 3 miles. Beautiful. So I call them up, and the lady picks up the phone and she says, yeah. I said, is this a tire shop? Yeah.
do you work with, and I swear this is what was happening, right? So yeah, 2 times now. Tire shop, yeah. What did I say? Are you open? Yeah. Do you work with semi trucks and trailers? Yeah. So this was going on for like 10 minutes. I'm thinking, okay, what can I ask so I get a no? Because I was getting desperate. Like, yeah, and I thought I got a wrong number, you know, but that's because it sounded so like I called the house. But anyway, I said, I'm at this plant. I gave it the name of the plant. I said, you know this plant? Yeah. I can give you the address. Yeah. Okay, I gave her the address. I said, I'm at the main gate, but they're probably going to kick me out because I was blocking traffic there. And so now I'm just waiting for them. I'm waiting for them, and the beautiful thing is that flip axle I took with me, even though I didn't need to, but you know, when I kind of panic, like how do you, usually they don't repair tires on the road, but I know I can repair it for sure at my Cal's tire back at home. And I don't want to buy a new tire. I have 4 tires, the same type, the same size. That's always helps when you have all the same tires and wheels. Like, you know, even my, if I wanted to, I could even have taken tire from my pusher axle, because it's also 275, but it's a different brand, and it's very, like the tread is very rough. It's kind of like off-road tire. And so I figured out, and when I called them and I explained to this lady, I said, what I want is, I want you to come out, send a guy with a truck, and it's after hours, $120 US. Do you take Visa? Yeah. I said, I want you to take off the wheel from my trailer and take the wheel where the tire is flat, put that wheel over there and put this wheel on top, on the flip axle. I said, it'll take you, your guy 10 minutes probably, with the proper tools, you know. Because, you know, I got tools, but not the type you need to change wheels. Anyway, so this is what happens. I just wanted to let you guys know. I would say the most typical breakdown on the road is tires, and I don't remember a single time when I had a flat on the truck. It's always on the trailer. Typically, it's the passenger side tires when you're hitting the, when you go on the shoulder, and usually that's where all this debris, you know, and old, sorry, my face is too bright now. It's because this window, oh, hold on, somebody's calling. And that's the new tire over here. The black one is over there. Done. 10 minutes.